Hello, everyone. Rob Goslin here, Director of Space. Welcome to our highlight reel, where we share some of our upcoming classes with you. These are just a few of the amazing modules we offer each month in space. If you are interested in more information to enroll or to vote on these courses, please check the individual links below. We look forward to seeing you in space.
Wesathala und willkommen auf Min. My name is Isaac Schendel, and I'm a preceptor for Old English Conversational German and Middle High German with Signum University Space Program. I'm starting a new cohort for our 8-part Old English series of month-long modules. In this series, we will develop all the language skills and the translation skills necessary to read Old English comfortably. In our module, we begin reading Old English from the get-go, so you're always learning both the language and the culture at the same time. Riddles, epic poetry, travel literature, medical handbooks, our series has it all. I look forward to seeing you in space. Godbeil Midale.
Hello, my name is Robert Steed. I'm a longtime space preceptor. I'll be precepting a cultural history of anime along with our co-preceptor, Anni Foasberg. We'll be dividing the class up between us, each taking the lead on our particular areas of specialization. I'll be focusing on the historical development and evolution of anime and manga against the cultural and historical background of 20th century Japanese society as well as 21st century Japanese society. We'll be focusing on several eras: early 20th century, Imperial Japan, World War II Japan, post-war Japan, all the way through the 1990s, as well as recent and contemporary production of anime and manga. So over the course of this module, I'll be providing that general framework, and Annie will be doing her thing. So let me hand it off to Annie.
I'm Anni Foasberg. I'm a co-preceptor for this module. Within this framework, I'm going to look at specific figures and works. So we're going to talk about important mangaka, directors, series, the development of different genres and different styles. So I'm excited to be part of this module, and I hope you'll consider joining us.
Yes, please do join us. This is a fascinating topic, and Annie and I really look forward to working together with anyone else who shares this interest. Thank you all.
Hi, I'm Sara Brown, and I'm a literature instructor with Signum University Space Program. I'm starting a new series of modules called J.R.R. Tolkien, A Life in Letters. Tolkien was born on the 3rd of January 1892, and he died on the 2nd of September 1973. During that time, he wrote an enormous number of letters, some discussing family life, some referring to real-world events, and some that directly refer to his literary work. And in 1981, the book The Letters of J.R.R. Tolkien was published, edited by Tolkien's biographer Humphrey Carpenter, who was assisted by Christopher Tolkien. The selection from an enormous mass of material contains 354 letters. These were written between October 1914, when Tolkien was an undergraduate at Oxford, and the 29th of August 1973, 4 days before his death. In November 2023, HarperCollins published an extended edition of Tolkien's letters, and this new edition was huge, containing a significant number of new letters, as well as some of the originals having been expanded to include extra detail. So why should you join this Signum Space class? Well, in this first of 3 classes on Tolkien's expanded letters, we will be focusing on those that were written from 1914 to 1945, which is letters 1 to 104. This section contains 46 new letters, as well as 27 letters that have been expanded from the original published version. Picking out some of the most important and interesting details from this first section of letters, we'll be discussing the events of Tolkien's life in tandem with these letters and filling out a more complete picture of the man through his work, his personal life, and his creative endeavours. Names, places, and stages of history can all too easily become abstractions on a page, but in this course, we will see the way in which Tolkien's personal environment was intimately connected to his works and how it shaped the life of the man behind the legendarium. So I do hope you'll join me for this new course, and I look forward to seeing you in space.
Heyo gesund. Old English, or one Old English phrase for hello, be well, be sound. So I'm here to talk about for a moment the wonders of learning Old English. And telling you, a little of my experience was way back when I was in college, these many, many centuries ago. I was taking a linguistics course, and that's where I got introduced to Old English, studying the history of the English language, and I had just begun to find out who this Tolkien guy was, and the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and how much the language that was Old English and the languages, or some of the languages that are in the Lord of the Rings, resonate with one another, and I got just terribly excited. So I undertook the study of Old English, and here we are. And all these years later, I still love it. So let me introduce to you an ongoing series of advanced readings in Old English, and advanced simply because we're not using a beginner's textbook or anything like that, but sitting down with a text or part of a text, each module, to read Old English. And for many of us, including myself, this also means looking up a lot of vocabulary from time to time. But the idea is to familiarize ourselves and read what is available in Old English. And so sometimes we read some things that are really well known and are typical in an Old English class at a university or college. Things like Beowulf or The Wanderer, from the poetic tradition, but we also read things from the prose tradition. And so we've read Apollonius of Tyre, and we'll probably revisit that text at some point. We've read some homilies, and we've read some other prose texts, and there's many more that we haven't. We haven't really delved much into law codes or charters or the medical books or anything like that. But, right, there's a lot to choose from. And so each month, each individual module, alternating between poetry and prose, we take on a new text and see how far we get. There is no rush. There's no need to rush. So we go at the pace of the class wants to go at, and we can stop and pause and ponder things and what this word means, or what this context means, or what is making sense, and all those kinds of things. So it is a really, really good time, and we have some really great people, and I invite you to join us. So Godna Dai, good day.
Hello there. The creative writing team in the Signum University Space Program is excited to announce our brand new offering.
We've been running creative writing classes for 2 years as standalone modules. Now we want to offer you a new experience to support your long-term project.
It's called Novel in a Year. Over 12 months, you'll take your story from idea to draft to publishable book. Along the way, you'll have guidance in storycraft from us, your preceptors, and running feedback from your classmates.
Each module in the series will draw upon lessons from previous classes as we build a community of writers, going through the journey together, encouraging each other every step of the way.
Sounds like a big commitment. What if I can't do all that?
That's fine. Taking the full sequence will give you the richest experience, but each module still works as a standalone. You can jump in at any time, and it's fine if you have to miss some months.
Okay, but I'm really nervous about submitting my story for feedback.
I get that. At other places, writing workshops can be intimidating and unfriendly, but here at Signum, we've worked with students to develop a different way of doing things. It's all about kindness and encouragement.
It's called collaborative feedback. We start by asking what kind of feedback you need to help your story thrive.
We believe everyone has stories that matter, and sharing them makes the world a better place. If you're ready to tell your story, we hope you'll come join us on the adventure. It's going to be so much fun.
Hello, I'm Shawn. I am an instructor with Signum University's Space Program. I am here to introduce you to our module on Egyptian hieroglyphs. In the first module, we will practice recognizing and reading the hieroglyphs. You will have a better understanding of how they work, what are the things that are true about hieroglyphs, and what are the things that you've heard that might not be true. And you will be prepared to read names and put your own name into hieroglyphs. After that, we'll work on materials that you will see in museums and how to read and understand some of the more common texts. The benefit of taking a class on hieroglyphs and not just studying directly from the book by yourself is that you have people to work with, and you can ask questions and get feedback about what you're doing, what methods work and what maybe don't work as well. So I hope that you decide to take the hieroglyph class, and I look forward to seeing you. Thank you.